Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Gunpla Garage coming at you with a new unboxing video. And I know I'm a little late to the party with this one, but today we're going to be unboxing the Lightning Buster Gundam. This is a newer release from SEED Freedom, not brandy new. This came out a couple months ago, but this is the Lightning Buster Gundam from the movie Gundam SEED Freedom. And it's basically the Buster Gundam with some upgrades. So rather than a shotgun and cannon that combines together, it has these two backpack cannons that can swing forward or swing out and under. And I think it's a very cool take on the Buster Gundam design. This is basically a remake of the Buster Gundam. The last time we saw the Buster Gundam in high grade form was around 2012 with the remaster version, and that wasn't much different from the original SEED high grade that came out in like 2002, 2003 timeframe, if I'm remembering correctly. So this is going to be a decently updated Buster Gundam, hopefully with some newer joints, some better articulation, and some better color separation. So we're going to treat this unboxing like we do with every other unboxing, where I put the camera up and we take a look at the runners in alphabetical order. So now that the box is open, we're going to take a look here at the A-frame of the Lightning Buster Gundam. Taking a look at the runner plate, this is the 1144 GAT frame. So this is going to be basically a copy-paste runner from newer GAT-X type mobile suits. So I know we just got an Ale Strike with the Gundam Breaker 4, and this is also in the Duel Blitz. So it's basically a copy-pasted runner, inner type of frame and joint system for anything that's on the GAT frame, anything newer, that is. So taking a look at the actual parts here, we have two hand pieces here, and then two pieces down here for the bicep, and then the wrist connection. And then in here, this is the upper thigh connection, so upper thigh into the top of the knee. And then this is the actual knee joint section itself. Here we have the bottom of the waist and the top of the waist. Here we have the upper collar on the torso, and then the sandwich joints for the thigh connection onto the waist. I'm unsure what this part is, but the rest of the runner, so that's the neck there, and these are the shoulder pieces, the inner shoulder connection, and then the elbow pieces. The rest of the runner is really just all joint pieces, so this is just primarily joint pieces that make the Gundam move and articulate around. So this is just a standard joint runner, decently detailed here. Like, we saw some good details here on this knee section, as well as the top of the waist here with some panels there. But it's primarily joints, so there's not a heck of a lot to see here. So let's move on to runner B. Here we have two B runners, B1 and B2, and B2 is identical to B1, just with some of these bits missing. So we're only going to take a look at B run here. So we're going to start with the different pieces on B1, which is down here in this quadrant. And this is just armor plating pieces. I believe these go onto the chest. And then this is probably for the backpack itself, because there is some articulation forward, backwards, and up and down for the backpack, for the back cannons, rather. And here we have the side cannons that swing out, the kind of like sub cannons. And there's not a ton of detailing on these. Down here, probably something for the waist sub cannons. And then more attachment points. So I believe this is the barrel for the sub cannon. So that's not a panel line, that just is a connection joint to go into there. And then a handle and a swivel. So this whole quadrant section area is basically for the sub cannons on both B1 and B2. Up here we have the armor separation for the GAT-X piece. So usually the upper calf area on the GAT-X Gundams, so the Aegis, the Buster, the Strike, the Blitz, the Duel, have these darker gray areas on top of the calf. And we have a little bit of detailing here, with that line there, and then in the center there. We have this armor flap. This probably pulls down to reveal missiles. And then here we have pieces for the shoulder. We have a sort of missile pod here. So these you'll probably want to color all red, because that's going to look kind of crappy if you leave these unpainted. You'll definitely want those red, or if you wanted something more subtle, you could do a light gray. And then we have probably the main connection joint here for the backpack. And then we have 2 halves of 1 cannon. So these two go together in a sandwich joint like that. And then I believe this is a sliding gimmick for the main cannon. So this barrel will swing forward in its deployed mode. And here we have the main swinging joint for the cannon. So this goes on top of this. And we do have a little bit of detailing there, but not a heck of a lot. And same with the cannon. We just have these pretty minuscule panel lines there. It's a decently cool looking runner. It's nice that this is color separated for the upper calves. There are not stickers for these missiles on this missile pod, so this is definitely something you're gonna have to paint. There's no stickers for this. Pretty light on detailing here, to be honest. I wish there was a little bit more, but we'll see what happens when the kit is fully built. Here we have the C1 and the C2 runner down here. So this is the very light tan armor pieces. So we're gonna look at both these runners. And up here is all the head pieces. So one of the biggest points of contention here is this armor piece on the cheek of the Gundam isn't color separated. There's a sticker for this, and it's quite an ugly sticker, and it's such a raised textured area. There's already a runner for red that this really should have just been color separated and added as pieces. I know it's a very small piece and somewhat of a nitpick because these are model kits, but a lot of out-of-the-box builders were pretty upset about this. Here we have the V-fin with some pretty large safety nubs on the end there, and then the lower torso there. Here we have the lower ankle shin guard, which is interesting that the connection is on the inside like this. Usually it's like in the center. On the inside, on only one side, is definitely interesting. That's an interesting choice. Here we have the hand connection and the bicep here with this little tiny bit of armor paneling. We have the main forearm here with a little bit of panel lining there. And the upper bicep, again, with this circular inner panel, but that's not really something to panel line because the shoulder armor is going to cover it. Here we have 2 armor panels. I believe these are for thrusters on the back of the leg. And there's a little bit of panel lining there. There's this like little tang down there. And then this block up there. Here we have the top of the foot, top of the thigh here with this panel jutting out, and the back of the thigh with this panel recessed inwards. And then we have the bottom of the leg here. So there's a panel coming down here and across, and then 2 down here. So this looks decently okay. This will look nice once it's panel lined. And then we have the front of the shin. This is C2 now, and all of this we just looked at. So we're gonna look at this piece down here. And this is the top of the waist. So this has a gimmick where there's 2 mini cannons on the side and they swing out from the side so they can be stowed and they can swing out. And I assume this is the bottom of the waist, so it comes together as a sandwich joint. Here we have the front of the waist. So the skirt armor goes into here. The top of the hands there. The rear skirt, so there's no articulation here on the rear skirt, but there is this little armor panel there that might have to be gray. So if you really wanted this color accurate, you may have to color that gray. Pretty sure that's supposed to be gray. And this in here is probably, because it's a thruster, it's supposed to be red and black. So there is some painting that you're gonna have to do on this if you really want it to be fully anime accurate. Same with the front of the skirt there. Here we have the D runner, and it's in a super dark green color. And this is just going to be more armor and body panel. So we have the front of the torso here with basically no panel line details on this. So you could go down there in that section there and there, and then maybe right there, but that's really it. And we have the back portion of the torso here with just that for panel lining. Here we have the main section for the feet. So there's no toe bend, nothing like that. I want to say this is the chin, like that's the chin down there and the main headpiece itself. The bottom of the feet here in the middle. Here we have the upper cap for the head, kind of like the Duel Gundam, how the Duel has that blue cap, this has that green one. And then up here across we have the shoulder armor. So this is a thruster here and here on the back end, so you'll probably need to paint that if you want anime accuracy. And then here we have 2 translucent green effect pieces that go on the front. And then back here we have these large panels for color separation on the cannons, on the backpack cannons, and what looks like to be the main connection point for the backpack cannons on the back. And there's some decent panel lining here. So we got this panel up in here and then up and around and going downwards. Probably the most detailed runner here on this whole kit. Still pretty light on panel line details. It's like they wanted extra anime accuracy from these high grade seed ones because they are quite light on details. Here we have the E1 runner, and it's in this orangish red, like sunburst orange type color. And here we have the side skirts with that venting slash panel on the side there. That looks nice. We have the lower abdomen section here. And then we just have more covers, so miscellaneous covers for armor throughout the kit. And then here we have some color separated pieces for the green effect part on the shoulder, and then the kind of V-fin cover, if you will, for that unique sensor cover that's on the head. Pretty cool that all of this stuff was color separated. It's a pretty small runner, but really the cheek blocks should have been on this runner as well. They already have the color. I don't think it would have really cost them a heck of a lot to print those onto this runner. It really should have just been done. I know this is already an expensive kit. I think this is like $30. So that's also kind of contentious for people because it's expensive. It's not fully color accurate, not fully color separated, if you will. So I definitely can understand some complaints that some people have with this kit. Finally, we have the E2 runner, and it's just the effect parts for that shoulder. It's just clear green effect parts. So you may want to build the kit, spray your matte clear, and then put these on, because masking these is going to be a pain in the butt. It'll probably be easier to just disassemble than mask these as you spray your clear coat, your matte clear coat onto it. Last but not least, it looks like we are going to have the smallest sticker sheet here for a SEED Freedom kit with the Lightning Buster, and really the most offensive piece here is those two red sections there for the cheek, which I'm absolutely going to paint. I'm not using these stickers. Those stickers will not be used. And then the rest of the green are just sensor stickers, so I probably won't use much of this sticker sheet at all because I've gotten around to painting my eyes now lately. So there's really not much use for me for the sticker sheet, and I'm happy it's as small as it is, but those two red pieces are definitely obnoxious. So we have all of our runners here, and it's in 5 colors. 4 if you discount this effect piece, which I kind of do because it's just an effect part. So really the main build is 4 primary colors: this tan, this dark green, this gray, and then this sunburst orange down here in the bottom left. It is a high grade, so I'm not expecting a ton of real grade type details on this kit. But like the other SEED ones, it is a little light here. It's not like the Murasame Kai, because the Murasame Kai had a lot of details on it. The Calrea had a decent amount of details on it, and that includes all of its color separation. So it's a little anemic on details. I would have liked a little bit more on the armor pieces themselves, but that's nothing that scribing can't fix. Thank you all so much for watching the unboxing of this Lightning Buster Gundam. It's exciting to get a Buster Gundam in 1/144 scale with some newer articulation and parts and some newer looks as well. I definitely like the armaments of this one better than the original Buster Gundam. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions mean so much to me. I hope to see you in the review of this, and as always, stay safe, have fun, and happy building.